Yeah, it's live.
All right, looks like we are live. So students, sorry we got a little bit delayed in starting out today, but we are here with both of our TAs, Yong and Chao, and hope everything is going well. Just again, some introductory announcements and followed by um, any questions you may have. So I hope everybody is pacing properly and reading both the book and the videos. Um, and we have our first homework underway now, and hope you all are trying to do the work. Don't keep it till the last minute. I saw some questions, so it looks like people are working on it, like Berzowski's and so on. There are good examples in the book in case some of the slides or lectures may not be 100% clear. That is why we ask you to read the book. And so please follow up on that. And if you have any further questions, we'll all use Piazza for responding. But if there are questions which still need more detailed explanation, we'll discuss it here. And you are always welcome to send us any questions of any such importance which you want to hear more details about. Email it to Chao and Yuhong, and they can read it out here, and we will discuss it here as well if you cannot join the Hangout live, because I know that this is a little bit late for different parts of the world. Unfortunately, with lots of different constraints, there is no such thing as a good time for everybody. So those who can join, please do so. Otherwise, send us the questions and don't keep it to yourself, and we'll make sure they get addressed in a timely manner. We are not allowing any late submissions, so please make sure you submit it before the deadline, and we have given enough amount of time, so there shouldn't be any reasons for not being done on time. I think we finish now third week, so you should be ready to, I guess, as per the pacing schedule. Where are we, Chao, now on the pacing schedule? Can you quickly tell me?
Um,
I think they should be now starting the parsers. They should have finished.
Yeah, we are doing P1, L4, and L5 for next week. And it's about the chapter 3.
Okay, let me see. Pacing schedule here. So we are in this P1 L3 is done, and you should be doing now the next two, P1 L4 and L5. I think this is where we start the parsers, changing
Yes.
grammar and so on, and should be finished with all the automaton stuff now. NFA, DFA conversion, minimization, and it should all be very clear what we can and we cannot do through NFA, DFA mechanisms. And next week, you should be pacing on the grammar side, first making the grammars correct, removing their ambiguities and all these problems. And then we will be ready for LL1 parsing in the week after one. So that is what is going on. Again, please let us know if you have any questions. So, Chao, anything we should address here? Any kind of issue or any question that is not well answered, or?
Somebody is asking for the solutions to the book. Do you know where to find the solutions to the book? Or whether you can help to ask some solutions from the authors?
No, we don't have, unfortunately, solutions to the book problems directly. What I really suggest is this, that they can use Piazza, and let's open a topic there, which is to discuss back of the book problems. and they can discuss and check the answers with each other. That is probably the best way, but we don't have answer key, unfortunately. And let's use this Piazza forum to sort of cross-check each other's answers and make sure they're right. That's the best we can do. Because many books have the solution guide, this one does not, and the teacher's guide, and we don't have access to that, the answers otherwise. So
Okay.
Yeah, actually, for most of the exercises on the textbook, there are some kind of solutions online. Just like question by question, it's not like aggregated together. They really need some help. Just Google the question. They can also find some help.
I see. We have to just make sure that they are correct.
Yeah.
That's the thing. So because sometimes on the internet you can have something and it can be a little misleading. So I think the best ways would be to discuss also, and you can use the online help, but remember that there could be mistakes or errors there, and there may not be, but sometimes some of the parts, but there could possibly be. So we exercise caution.
Okay.
Anything else, Chao and Yuhong, we should address? I guess the project we had to release today, right?
Yes. So did you have a time to go through the?
And so I'm going to finalize it tonight, and Chao, then I'll let you know, and then go ahead and release. Okay.
Okay. So do you have the link? I think I sent you the link. Did you got it?
You did. Yeah, you did. You did. I haven't fully gone through that yet. We have decided it's going to be one person for the phase one, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I removed the recorder part for the grammar. So I'm thinking whether we can remove the type alias from the grammar.
Let me take a look. Did you put some comments there like that?
Not yet.
Okay. So just put some comments, what comes to your mind.
Okay.
I think, and from Yuhong, from your experience, let's make sure this could be one-person work.
I think, yeah, it definitely could be one-person work, but they really need to start it early. Because what I did for last quarter, because we have 3 people, we finished everything like within the last week for the deadline. Yeah, we struggled a lot. But if they started earlier, yeah, one person is enough.
Okay. Can we make sure that there are checkpoints in between?
Yeah.
So that will help a lot to make sure that they stay on track. If you can add those. Okay. You can add those, that will be really important, I guess. Okay, any other questions or comments or anything you guys want to announce?
No.
Somebody had a question about the format of submission. Do you have any format for grading?
Yeah, I made some descriptions on the projected file.
Okay. All right. Hi, Paul. I think he has joined.
Hello, Professor. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm okay. So
good to see you from. I know that. What time is it there?
12:39 a.m.
9 a.m.
12:39.
12:39. Okay. We might try to move this a little bit earlier. Let's try that because it's kind of late there.
Yes. I just have one question. There was actually there was a quiz on the minimum DFA, And my question is, how do you know you have reached your minimum DFA has a reachable state? So what clues or what technique can you use to determine that your minimum DFA is a reachable state, has reached you've arrived at a reachable state?
Oh, minimum DFA. Yeah, because in that Berzovsky's algorithm, you have to determine the reachable states, and then you have to reverse, and all these steps are there, right? Is that what you're asking? How do you determine the reachability of a state?
Yes.
Okay, so it's quite simple. So reachability is two things. One is, of course, you should have a path from start state to the particular state, and secondly, you should have a path from that given state to the final states, one of the final states. So if this satisfies this particular criterion, then that state is reachable, because otherwise you won't be able to go to it. So simple. There are several there are several graph algorithms which allow you to find if there is a path from a state A to state B, and you can use any one of them to determine if there is a reachable state. So some of them will take a depth first approach and try to go from A to B, and then from B to C, then C is reachable from A. This is the kind of stuff they will do. And some others will try to take closures. And so if the graph allows you to, so the closure is a little bit of more complex operation. You could take a closure using Warshall's kind of an algorithm, and that shows all the paths in the graph in the closure, and then you check if A to B is there is a path. If it is not, then you're not. So you could use Warshall's, or you could use depth first search, or any of these. But this is the definition of reachability. So that's what we'll check in the intermediate parts of this Warshall's algorithm.
Okay, thank you.
Sure, because what could happen is during this particular process, you might take a closure and you may suddenly find that a particular state, there is no path to it. And that basically means that that should not be included in the next step of the algorithm. So we'll follow this. So hopefully this helps. You can try out some example, and then if you run into issues, let us know.
Okay, will do.
Sure. Thank you, Paul. So I guess we'll join for other students. And we're just discussing that we are about to offer release the project phase 1 to be done individually. So hopefully you'll find interesting. And we'll have intermediate checkpoints so that we'll make sure we stay on track and we don't postpone till the end, because towards the end, then it will become too much of a work. But if you get started right away, then it will get done properly and on time. So we just announced that a little bit before you joined, Paul. So I was just repeating it.
Okay. I just have a quick question about the project. Would there be a way of testing whether maybe your code is working correctly or meeting the criteria? Do you have like a test suite or something like that?
Yeah, we will be releasing some test cases where things should pass in terms of they don't have any errors and things. And then we'll also have test cases where there could be errors, wherein the program will create a syntax error or some kind of a semantic error and things like that. So we'll have a whole bunch of such things, and they will help you check if the front end is working properly or not.
Okay.
So I'm going to mute myself, but wait for questions. And Joe, if you have any other things to announce or add, then go ahead and use the time.
Okay. No, we don't have more to announce.
Actually, I'm not sure if the online students have the access to the servers. The GT shuttles provided by Georgia Tech, if they can run their program on the school server, so we can make sure that we can actually run their code when we testing it. I'm sure if that helps.
No, we will provide them a virtual machine. So.
Okay. Oh, okay, cool.
Okay. Professor, I'll have to leave. It's almost 1 a.m. in this part of the world. It's a pleasure actually attending today's office hours.
Yeah, Paul, no problem. Sorry, it's very late for you. And in spite of that, thanks for coming over. And we will try to adjust the time. I know that it's very, very late there. So please go ahead and we will try to accommodate the better timings from next one. And we will be providing, just to complete what Yu Hong was asking, we, we provide virtual machines. So that way they can develop on their own machines without access to Georgia Tech, because sometimes the connections are slow, servers go down, all these issues come up. But good night, Paul, and we'll continue the office hours here for some time.
Okay, see you. And you have yourself a good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you.
See you.
Okay, it seems we have a quiet office hour, so it's time to go. See you next week. Hopefully you are doing well on the homework and the coming project. Good luck.